Did you ever have any suspicion that your dad was not your biological father?
No suspicion whatsoever, none. In fact, my father and I have been very close growing up. He's always been my rock. We have a special relationship. My mom and I had a difficult relationship, good and bad, but my dad and I have been close. And my mom was always a little irritated about how close my dad and I were. And maybe some of this is kind of shed some light on that.
I want to go back to the moment that you found out. And you take the DNA test for fun, which so many of us, I think, have either done or are thinking about doing. You get the results. And what was your first reaction?
Shock, denial, sadness, all of these together. It was a roller coaster. It was feeling alone and abandoned, and a bit of your identity feels stripped from you. So everything I thought I was, and the first thing I thought about was, I'm Irish, right? What if I'm not Irish? Like, I have all these Irish traditions. And what if I'm not who I think I am? And the first 48 hours were really difficult because you just feel like everything has been taken from you.
Wow. And how did you tell your dad?
Very nervously. I spoke with people who were close to me, and my younger sister gave me some great advice. Be better to do it over the phone rather than rushing up there to see him and be with him and let him know how much I loved him. So I did that. I picked up the phone and I said, the results from the DNA test came in. Is there something that you need to explain to me? Am I adopted? And he was emphatic. No, you're not adopted. I remember everything.
Did either one of you go, well, there must be something wrong?
Entirely. We kept saying there has to be a mistake. And the process is just, there's really no way to describe it, but it's just complete denial. There has to be a mistake. You think about, what did I eat? What did I do? Someone swapped my spit. It's just all these funny things go through your head. But we have been talking, and when the second DNA test came in, that was more confirmation. And so we have been on this journey of kind of sleuthing it out.
And how did he react as he started processing this?
At first it was total denial, it couldn't be, and then slowly he has come to the realization that he understands this has happened, and it did happen, and there's a lot of questions, and there's so many different emotions, and we're just trying to kind of get to the bottom of this.
So Wendy, you were able to narrow it down to 3 men. How did you determine who your biological father is?
More narrowing down, and at this point, my father and I agreed that it would be fine to speak with some relatives, and so I called my mom's sister, and she was familiar with the name, and then she linked that to some good friends, of which one happened to be my godmother, and that kind of closed the door. And then once I had that information, there was someone that I had reached out to through one of the DNA tests, their website, and I reached out to this person. They finally responded when they saw the message, and we were able to connect last Friday. And when we spoke, she said that she knew of me, not necessarily who I was, but she knew that this person had a child and that nobody knew about it. So for me, that sealed the deal.
So through reading the obituary and talking to other relatives that were still alive on your side, you pieced together the clues to be able to get on the phone with this person. What is her name?
Her name is Michelle.
And you just spoke to her a few days ago.
Yes.
And you've never met her.
Nope.
And she confirmed something that made you say, holy cow.
A big holy cow. She confirmed that she and her mom knew about me.
What was that moment like?
It was good and bad. It was good because I felt proud of myself that I had figured it out. Sorry. Little confirmation that I was doing the right thing and not completely crazy. And then it felt bad because it again was one more piece of confirmation. And through a lot of this, one of my main concerns has been that I want my dad to be okay through all of this because it's painful for him in a different way than it's painful for me. And he's been very concerned about me being okay through all of this.
Gotcha.
But that tells us that not only did my mom know, but this gentleman also knew.
You know, everyone in my audience today is one decision away from a different life. Your whole life comes down to a 5-second window, and that's what we're going to talk about right now, this 5-second window that keeps you stuck. So, Stacy.
Yes.
I'm going to start with you. Thank you for being here.
Mel, I just have to say to you, I've always believed in my heart that there is something, I'm made for something in this world. I believe it in my heart. I just don't know. I always believe in God's timing and signs. And
Well, this is a sign.
I know.
So
Amazing.
what's got you stuck?
So what has me stuck is years ago I started off as a dental assistant and I became a dental hygienist.
What happened?
13 years later, here we are, and I was recently let go. Let go. You know,
I can see when you said let go, your voice dropped. And I'm going to tell you something about women and what happens to us when we get fired. There's something about guys, I don't know what it is, when men get fired, they kind of go, screw that job.
Yes.
Yes, and when women get fired based on the research, we go, something's wrong with me.
Yes, yes.
And so here's the thing I need to ask you.
Yeah.
What's got you emotionally
Okay,
stuck?
so I have been through great loss, and just when I started my family, 3 young, dynamic, beautiful daughters, I lost my mom, my mother-in-law, my dad.
So you've had like
My family,
4 things
yeah,
in a
it's
row.
like a lot of devastation and grief.
I get that you've got a lot on your plate right now.
Yeah.
You're stuck right now because you've experienced a lot of loss in your life personally and because you got laid off from a job that you had had for 13 years.
Yeah.
And now you feel paralyzed
Yes.
in taking any step forward and looking for that next thing.
Yes.
Okay. That is something that a lot of people can relate to. I hear a lot of sniffing going on here. So I think that means that I see this window. And what happens, and this is what we're going to be talking about throughout the show today, is that you can have a lot of bad things happen to you. And that's what life does sometimes.
Yeah.
But this is a show, and the 5-second rule is a tool that's about what you do next. And so that's what we're going to focus on this show. Okay, so let's go to Cheryl. Thank you for sharing that. Cheryl, how are you stuck?
Just like Stacey, I recently lost my job, and the thing I'm having a problem with is my bills.
Okay.
It's gotten to the point where I physically come home, take my bill, and I have a brown basket that sits on the dresser, and literally turn it the other way so you can't see who it is, and I boop, right in the basket, and I just keep it moving. That's just, I can't deal with the bills. I just can't.
And so when you see those bills, you know intellectually, I got to open them, right?
Yes,
you
do.
know
You do.
intellectually, you got to face it. And so when I talk about this 5-second gap between what you know you need to do and then all the emotions that come creeping in that stop you from doing it, this is the 5 seconds that defines your life. And this is why I say, it's because it's the 5 seconds of whether or not you open the bill or you feel the weight of it. And that's why I say you're one decision away from the life that you want. And it comes down to just 3 words in that moment. When you know what you need to do and you feel the heaviness and you feel yourself starting to give up, will you change?